Hello everyone and welcome back to Charlie Talks Football. It finishes Newcastle 2, Man United 0. What a brilliant result it was today. I mean, we were third in the league now on the same level of points, but I really do believe, I think a lot of fans are starting to believe that we can qualify for Champions League football.
Why not?
I mean,
Why not?
It really looks like, wow, Tottenham don't have a manager, and just Man United didn't look like they were in the game, did they? I mean, their players just looked down, they weren't really trying, and our players looked like we really wanted to win that game.
We were really
the players were constantly sort of trying to get the fans up, and it was just,
you know, when you see the likes of Bruno and Dan Burn and Isaac going, come on, to the crowd when they're doing tackles and that to get the crowd going. It's just phenomenal, the passion. And today we were really on our game. We were dominated.
We were on top
the game
for ages. Well, for pretty much all of the game, we were on top. And you know, the first half, it was really frustrating because we had chances where we probably should have scored 2 or 3. I mean, Willock had this chance where he sort of leaned back, and I've seen the ball was bobbling, to be fair to him, so he could have maybe done. There wasn't really too much he could have done better, but I do think maybe he should have done better there. And that's what quite a few Newcastle players have done this season, where they sort of lean back and blast the ball over. But we were certainly on top.
I think in the first half we dominated, and it was one of them things where you think you've got to score when you're on top, because Man United will up the game in the second half, and they didn't. I mean, in the first half we had that chance where the cross was in, there was a header from Isaac. I think De Gea pushed it out, and Willock, if he hit it anywhere else, it was just lucky for De Gea. It just hit straight off him, didn't it? It was so quick.
I mean,
but
so unlucky.
it was one.
Maxi was brilliant today. I mean, every single time he got the ball, you could see the fear in the Man United players' faces. He ripped them to shreds. Every single time he got the ball, he made stuff happen. Every time he got the ball, you thought Newcastle might score. He was phenomenal.
But it was interesting how Man United set up. I mean, personally, I thought Fred would have been starting. I think we both agree that they missed Casemiro massively. Yeah,
I do agree. I think that Casemiro obviously scored against us in the final, so it was great for Newcastle for him to not be playing, but I think he really just breaks up the ball in the midfield, and because he wasn't there, they were missing that presence in midfield, and this really sort of allowed us to get at them, and I think he's a real leader as well, and that's what they were missing today in the team, a real leader.
I thought, though, the way they set up in the first half was interesting. I didn't expect it, because they had McTominay was ahead of Fernandez and the other midfielder, Sabitzer. Yeah, and then in the second half he had to change it, and I'm surprised he didn't make subs at half time. But he actually put McTominay in the holding role and pushed up Sabitzer and Fernandez further up the pitch. So, but you know, Man United were poor. Rashford was anonymous.
Yeah, Rashford's usually really widely regarded as one of the best players in Europe, and he was poor today. I just actually think it was just Newcastle who were that good. We just limited him. I mean, Weghorst was poor as well. Yeah. All of their players were poor. I think you could argue that their 2 best players was probably Anthony or De Gea. Yeah. But sort of Dan Burn did well again. He did. Now, against West Ham, I just want to ask you, would you rest Dan Burn? Because in my personal opinion, he's playing really well, but I think surely he'll be quite tired now, and I think Target needs a chance. So, especially with, you know, West Ham coming up in the next few days, the fixtures are coming up thick and fast. I would just rest him.
Personally, maybe. if he's fit, I would play him, because I think he deserves to start.
But I just think he might just need a rest.
Onto the goals now. I mean, the first goal, it was a brilliant play by Isaac. He slipped in.
It was like something they would practice on the training ground, just headed off by Maxi, and Willock is there to finish it off.
What was really good about it was, though, the way, you know, I think they mentioned it, that it was the touch of Isaac, the slip the pass inside, and Bruno dinks it up. And when Maxi's jumping to head it back across, he's got a decision to make, because he's got, I think it was Murphy was closer to him, but more to the side. But he's got to get it up over Dalot and De Gea, and he does perfect, and it's just an easy header for Willock. So it was a great choice by Maxi.
Willock's been brilliant as well over the last few games. He's been fantastic, really good, the way he gets forward, and also I think he will miss the West Ham game. Hopefully he'll be back in time for the Brentford
like he was holding his hamstring.
The injury did look like something bad that might rule him out for a little bit. But I just want to talk about Gordon as well, because I thought Eddie Howe, made a really good decision with his substitutes. He did it at the right time as well, and Gordon was fantastic.
Yeah, he was
nicking the ball. He's really got that passion, and I thought today our players really showed that passion, and it's just we wanted to win the game.
We wanted it more. There was a desire. The crowd were really, we owed them one from the Carabao Cup, and we certainly deserved that victory today. And to get another clean sheet,
I know,
the best defence in the league.
I think the thing is as well, the second goal was good as well, but it was poor defending by Manchester United. I was just hearing, there's this guy called Mark Goldridge, he's a Man United fan. Sometimes I watch him because it's funny how angry he gets when they lose. The only time I watch him is when Man United lose. But he said, they defended poor, and he said, I didn't really know. He didn't really know what Eric Ten Hag was doing with the subs he made, and I do agree with him, because there was a point in the game when you saw Fred trying to sort of
he was marking Botman at one point on a corner. Couldn't believe
Botman's like so much taller than Fred, so for me that just didn't really.
For the goal,
really make
for the second goal, it was a really good cross by Trippier, and another set piece. But Wilson just gets in front of Lindelof, who's come on, and it's just it's a really good header in off the post. But the defending was really poor, wasn't it, for Man United?
Unlike Man United, it really makes you think, in the Carabao Cup final, we saw a completely different Man United team to what we saw today. And it's really...
They looked flat today.
I think Casemiro, I want you guys to comment down below why you think they played so poor. But I think Casemiro not being there holds apart, but
well, he's a leader,
honest,
isn't he? An experienced Casemiro.
When at half time, I was really worried, because I was thinking, oh no, is this going to be another 0-0 draw? And I would have been so gutted, because we were all over them.
But you expect a response from Man United in the second half. I expected
them to play much better, and parts of this game reminded me of last time we played Man United at Old Trafford. That actually was 0-0, and we were way better than them in the first half, and then the second half they played a lot better. So like my dad says, I was expecting them to come out. I was expecting Eric Ten Hag to make a substitution as well, but I just think it was we were
really good. I mean, we bossed the whole of the game.
We were just fantastic. I mean,
I've got to say though, I think defensively though, the chances they had when they got wide, I thought Botman and Shaw did really well. And Botman did a lot.
There was a time where, sorry for interrupting, there was a time where a cross came in and Rashford was basically free and Botman headed it away, and if he didn't do that, Rashford would sort of
would have scored. That's just what I was going to say. That Botman, he anticipates where the ball's going to go. So sometimes you leave the man and the cross comes in, but you go at the front post and block the cross. And you've got to be brave to do that. And John Terry, who used to play for Chelsea, was excellent at that. And I think Botman's got that as a real skill. So, to get a clean sheet against Man United, it's phenomenal. But we're just buzzing on. We're beating them 2-0.
I think a lot of people as well were sort of questioning why Joe Linton was on the bench because they weren't sure. But I think everything Eddie Howe did, he got right his substitutions. And again, we'll play West Ham in the next few days. That's a winnable game. I mean, I know they'll be confident after picking up a massive 3 points for them against Southampton. But from that performance, I would expect us to go and beat
So can I just ask you, Charlie, for West Ham, it looks like Willock looked like he limped off. It looked like his hamstring or maybe the back of his knee. But Do you think Joe Linton would come straight back in?
Yes, probably. I think that is the most likely thing. I think he'll go with the same team except from Joe Linton. Maybe Willock's all right, but I very much doubt it.
We've not mentioned one player who I thought did well as well. Isaac again. I thought
his hold-up play is brilliant.
His movement.
I mean, he's going to be a fantastic player for us for many years to come. And he was good again today, and he's just a key part of the team. Every player did fantastic. I don't think there was one player who didn't do well. And Champions League as well. I think it's coming exciting because Man United are doing terrible. Tottenham don't have a manager. This is such a huge opportunity to do this. Anyway, guys, just want to wrap it up there. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe. We're trying to get to 500 subscribers, and I'll see you guys in a bit.
Bye-bye.
Bye.